This is James Bullock of WarriorSciences.com, and today we're going to discuss the distance in which most physical confrontations begin. In the martial arts world, there is a lot of training at various distances, which is fine. But when it comes to actual real situations, conflict happens at a very, very close proximity because people try to get close to you. And a lot of our everyday interactions, we're fairly close to people. Whenever we go into stores, we buy things, we're standing in line, just about anything we do. This, about right here, is how close most conflicts begin physically. You know, there's that verbal lead up, I'm going to kick your, I'm going to beat the crap out of you, or you're worthless, whatever. Lots of verbal interplay until it leads to a physical conflict, especially with guys. You get that up close, stare down and pushing each other, and that egotistical back and forth, that's just absolutely idiotic. So if you're having an argument or anything like that, a lot of times it's going to be within this distance or maybe, a couple of feet difference. And that's the thing. And as things get heated, when you're this close or closer, the hand is faster than the eye. Even though I've trained my entire life and I can do a bunch of things, and he's trained for quite a few years and stuff like that, it doesn't matter. I can hit him from right here without him ever being able to protect himself. He could do the same to me quite easily. So it's one of those things where you have to be ready for something that could potentially occur. If you feel it escalating, you get those emotions and that biochemical process starts happening, you start getting adrenaline down because you're getting irritated and angry or what have you, when you feel it emanating off the other person, then you need to create space. You need to step back, step away and say, and be the person to go, whoa, we need to calm down a little bit, because this could have been a fender bender, he rear-ended me, and that type of thing where you're on your way to work, pissed off, and just livid about everything, and everything comes out on this person who, either rear-ended you or you rear-ended somebody else. You can escalate yourself, the other person can escalate you, or you can escalate the situation as a whole. So you have to be able to monitor yourself whenever you're doing anything, because if you're this close, you have to be aware of how things escalate. You know when someone's getting irritated. You know when you start feeling uncomfortable. I think females are far better at feeling uncomfortable than men, because it's one of those things where our ego will kick in, and it's like, you want to try to establish yourself. You want to try to be, a male will always try to be assertive much quicker. Why? There's no reason to. Just create space, control the tone of your voice, control the pitch of your voice, and so that you can de-escalate. Because that's not necessarily, it doesn't have to be a physical confrontation. It could be something where you're just in a heated argument. How do you change that? Recognize when it's getting to that point or boiling point and cut it off. Now, the best option clearly is to never let it get to a boiling point and not let somebody be this close to you. But I can say this all day long, and I still have interactions with people every single day, and they get this close. You're not going to treat everyone like that. You're not acting like you're in a bubble and everyone's got to play. So it's one of those things where we have to have interpersonal dealings with people. So be mindful of how you are and how they are, how they're acting. If he's doing some little tick, he's clearly getting irritated, he's opening and closing his right hand, moving his fingers, and I see veins popping out in his forearms, and he's getting a little flushed in the face, well, that means Jesse's getting a little pissed off. Now, if it's someone who literally wants to harm you in a personal protection situation, and they've established they've gotten this close, the first thing you need to do is get your hands up in some way. That doesn't mean I'm going to put my hands up like this because that's a surefire way for him to try to sucker punch you. But create space. Create space. Whoa, what's the problem? Asking questions is a very good tactic too. And a lot of times to be able to successfully put together a sentence, you can't just be trying to hulk out and then you have to come up with an actual sentence. Doing that may slow him down a little bit in his mind and be able to calm himself some. And you can successfully de-escalate the entire situation and both of you can leave. But once you find yourself this close, you need to remove yourself from this. This is before this has gone physical, by the way. If I truly feel like he's going to do something, well, I'm going to strike him first with anything I've got. Control how you do things. And once you notice that you're this close, do something to get further away. If you can't, if you're in a crowded area, stadium, sporting event or whatever, and someone decides to be an asshole, do your best to de-escalate the situation or remove yourself from that person. The rate of your heart or what have you, you have to pay attention to that because those kind of things always factor in. If you're someone that instantaneously, whenever stress piles on quickly and you have somewhat of an adrenaline dump and it just makes you panic, that really matters and you need to tell your instructor those type of things.